can't get no sleep. My mind ain't go.
What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Young Graphikz here, back with another video, a wild video actually. Florida mom had sex with family dog on video. What the helly? What the heliante? No talking. Let's get right into it.
And I just woke up and I have no idea what's
This is crazy.
going on.
We'll talk to. I'm just reading you the search warrant. Do you understand?
A young mother in Florida on body camera, and she'll later admit to engaging in sex acts with the family dog and more. I have the disturbing case out of Florida and what else White told police. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy, and just a reminder, we are now available on Spotify. You can watch us and listen to us there, so please check us out and follow us on Spotify. Samantha Lee White is a petite blonde from North Fort Myers, Florida.
Petite blonde,
and she
okay.
has a young child, which makes it really sad that she's on her way to prison, and she's going there for sex crimes against animals, specifically a dog. This case started in February 2024 when police and deputies went to her home with a search warrant. They were looking for electronic devices.
Yeah. Just have her get the child and then come down and then you can...
So get the child first and then read it. I'll follow her in there. When I come get the baby, I'll follow you in there.
Davis, we're coming.
So she probably didn't even know why they there, cause like unless somebody told her that they was gonna call the cops on her. Other than that, she probably don't even know why they there.
Wait 1 second. You're walking too fast for me. I'm not hearing you.
So the officer follows Samantha
It's a
White
maze
up
of a
to the
house.
second floor of the house, and there are already other officers there with the little boy.
Your twinkle star and your little cow.
Dang, they got 2 ceiling fans in their room.
Yeah.
Long guy's room.
Back in your crib. He's just been hanging out. Just.
I want to grab a blanket since
Hey.
I'll be outside.
Hey, buddy.
What's.
Is that what you?
For me, I have shoes. Yes, they're going to
The
be out by the
downstairs?
door.
Okay. All right.
Buddy, some people came to protect us today. Yeah. Yeah, that is your baby. Can you go in here real quick, please? I don't know if that's gonna mess with anything. I just don't want him to run up the door.
No, yeah, I hear you.
He's a little one that he won't let
Why the house look so cluttered? Like, dang.
Yeah.
Mama shoe. Yeah, Mama got shoe on, baby. Yeah, all the cars come to protect us.
Oh.
Say hi, everybody. Yeah, there are your mama's cars.
Watching this is really, really sad, knowing what we know now and seeing this child in the video because his mom is going to be arrested and is now on her way to prison. The officer then reads the search warrant to Samantha White.
I'm gonna. Let's get over
Just
here.
going back to like...
Yeah, right here where it's warm a little. All right, so I'm gonna read you this. We have a search warrant for the residence, okay? It's gonna be under agency case number with Lee County 24-06919.
The charges in Samantha White's case are concerning to say the very least. I looked her up on truthfinder.com to see what might come up. Samantha White is standing there holding her son as the officer reads the description of the house in the warrant, but then the officer tells her why they are actually there and what they think they will find.
This is what we're searching the house for. The law prohibits sexual performance by a child controlled by Florida State Statute 827. 071 subsection 5 of the Florida state statute. The firm has probable cause to believe and does believe that the property connected with the above listed crime is currently being contained, stored, or concealed within the following location.
It's like she said sex with a
Directions to
child.
locate, and this is just the address of how we got here. We're from the Lee County Sheriff's Office. Came from 14750 Mile Cypress, Fort Myers, Florida, headed towards Independence Circle. Basically, this is just the address of how we arrived here. And the following items is what we're going to be looking for. Images or videos of child engaging in sexual conduct defined in Florida State Statute 827.071.
I don't understand.
Hold on,
I
hon.
can't have you read this right now. Like,
Okay.
I didn't even take it this morning. And
All right, hon.
I just woke up and I have no idea what's going on. Oh,
We'll talk to. I'm just reading you the search warrant. Do you understand? Do you want
I
to?
think I get an understanding.
Do you want me to keep reading, or do you want to look at it yourself?
I'll look at it myself.
Okay, well, we're gonna be looking for electronics, basically. Are you okay? I know this is a pretty hard. I'm sorry, I made your mind everything.
And that's what I just don't want, because I can't give him to
Okay.
his dad, and I can't give him to anybody that I don't trust, and I just need a minute.
What the hell?
The judge was well. I'll just read the final. You can look at it in a minute. The warrant was
it's like-
presented to the judge.
Bro, it's like me, bro. If I get caught doing some shit, bro, like if I get in trouble or if I get caught doing something, I'm going to jail. I'm not crying. Like, that's just me personally. Like, I already know what I did. Like, I'm not, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I already know what I did. So I'm going to own up to it. Like, all right, it is what it is. I did it. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know. It's just her crying, rubbing me the wrong way.
On the 14th, which was yesterday, who approved it.
So this is an investigation about child pornography, child sex abuse materials.
Child, I knew she said child. Child pornography? So was it with the family dog or was it the kid?
Very, very serious.
All right, questions? So basically, we're going to search.
Yes.
As soon as the house we're done, we'll turn it back over. We're going to talk to you about this.
Okay.
Okay, you have any questions for us?
At some point, I need a water and to use the restroom.
Okay.
Other than that.
Yeah, we can do that. All right.
And then at some point, I would also like to go in the little garden area just so I can set him down and he can play.
Okay. Perfect. So let me just coordinate with them and I'll be right back.
And when can I see my husband?
In a minute.
Okay.
We'll talk to you guys.
Okay.
And just for the record, this warrant was served at 7:47 a.m., okay?
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
I'll get to Samantha White's husband, John White, in a bit, but first, I'll tell you what police say Samantha White told them. The detective said that White told them that she was fascinated by a male horse's anatomy and would look up videos and photos of it online. White also told the detectives that she looked up videos of horses engaged in sex with other horses and with a woman. Police said this led to other revelations from White that she would only
Bro,
discuss.
not gonna lie. I've seen a horse and a woman, like, when I was like, what? I was young. And I was like, bro, what in the world? Like, this was back when Twitter was twittering. I was like, what in the world? Like, bro, I was scarred for life. Like, I was scarred for life. I was scarred. Bro, and I saw on Twitter, this girl put peanut butter on her vagina and let the dog lick it off. Isn't that how you get infections and shit? Like, what the hell? What do people be thinking? Like, what do people be thinking? Like, do you find animals, like, you have to find animals attractive, right? If you're willing to go to that length, you have to find animals attractive, right?
With a female detective. Samantha White then admitted to having sex with her family dog. She decided to try it since the horse's anatomy interested her so much, but she told the detective the interaction with the dog wasn't her thing. Now back to the body camera video.
She started.
And not only did you try it, you recorded it too? What?
crying, so she didn't want me to finish it. I'm like, we're
Okay,
looking
well,
for
she's
electronics.
you told her she's gonna have the copy of it.
Yeah, I said this is going to be a copy, and I told her that the judge who authored the search when I show her the day and time.
Okay. The only other thing we're gonna try is we want to have her come in and get the dog. There's one little section we couldn't clear.
Okay.
So if we can have her either leave little guy or
She said she does.
she can keep him with her. That's fine.
I had her
We
come
just
in.
want to put him on a leash or let's just find. I'll go with you. Let's just see if we can find a spot. We'll figure it out.
On the leash?
Too late.
The kid or
I don't know
the
how many
dog?
times I had stepped on everything.
Ma'am, is there anywhere we can put the dogs besides that space while we're here, or are they allowed outside?
I can let them out over here, and then they'll be trapped in there, and nobody
Will
else
that be
will have
okay with you?
access. Yes.
It'll just help us
I just
speed
prefer
things up.
me.
No,
to
we
do
would
it.
prefer
I
you to
just
do it
don't
as
know
well.
how they would react to
Okay.
anybody else.
Are you able to help do that right now?
I
Okay.
sure am. When we go in, is there a way I can just get a sip of water
Yeah,
before
absolutely.
we do that?
For sure. Yeah, we can do
Dang,
all
she's
that.
finna cry again.
I need to use the restroom. But I'm not using that.
So the detectives go into the house to get the family's dogs.
Do you mind if she holds the baby really quick while we do that?
I do.
Okay, that's fine.
No, that's okay.
This will just need to be moved, and we'll have to close this behind us. Otherwise, the dogs will run right out this way.
Perfect. Okay. If you guys want to grab your breach, we're gonna close this.
Yeah, Mama knows a little
Feel you want to?
I don't know.
I don't think we need it.
Yours.
Good.
I'm getting a glass of water before we do this. Yeah? Yeah, runny nose. It's okay, don't be.
We're just gonna let them out in the front yard, or what?
Yeah, so they're gonna end up going right around this way, and they'll go right in the front yard.
Okay.
They are very friendly.
Yeah, I'm not
They
worried.
just
Yeah, we're not worried. We deal with dogs all the time.
right. One's gonna come right away, and then
Hey, that
two more
gate's
will be
closed,
coming.
right?
Yeah, I think they just closed it.
They're gonna come this way, John?
They're gonna come right.
Hey, Chloe! Hey, Chloe! Hey.
Hey!
Outside!
Go outside! Outside!
What kind of whistling signal is that? Is that the outside signal?
No, not that way. Not that way. Stella, Luna, River.
Bella, Luna, and Rico.
The three dogs are removed from the house, and now the detectives have to make sure that Samantha White is out of the house.
Right to Jim.
Grabbing his bicycle, so I should.
Yeah, that's fine. You see, you need to use the restroom really quick, right?
Yeah, but
It's gonna be. Is it gonna?
I will be fine for.
She don't want to leave her son.
10 minutes.
Okay.
Can we stay in here or better?
She wants to know if they can stay over there. Yeah, I can stay over there. That's fine.
Or you want to look at carpet?
You got all those, and then that one comes from. You know, and he's like, "Hey,
I did. I cleared it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes, it's good. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I got another set from outside.
That day, Samantha White was arrested and charged with having sexual contact with animals. She was released the very next day after posting bail. Samantha's husband, John White, was interviewed by detectives. The police report says John denied knowledge of how his cell phone could have ended up inside the toilet bowl where it was located by detectives after John took an extended amount of time to exit the residence during the search warrant service and announcements of law enforcement. John advised there were pictures of himself, his wife Samantha, and Samantha having sex with a canine on his cell phone. The canine involved in the sexual acts with Samantha is their chocolate male Labrador retriever. John believes there are one or two files depicting Samantha engaging in sex acts with their canine sometime in the end of last year, 2023, or the beginning of this year, 2024. John stated that day of the incident, Samantha and he were drinking and the canine was being annoying. John does not recall who mentioned engaging in sexual acts with the canine, but believes it would have been Samantha. And Samantha had apparently told the police that she would sometimes think about this stuff when she was drinking. The report says that John White admitted to recording Samantha engaging in the sex acts with the dog. John White was also arrested and charged with filming and possessing images or videos of animal sexual activity in February of 2024. Then last July, he was booked into the jail again after being charged with several counts of possession of child pornography.
What?
At the same time, Samantha White was also charged with possessing and transmitting child pornography.
No, bro, y'all are sick parents, bro. Y'all are sick parents, bro.
Then earlier this month, Samantha White pleaded guilty to 3 counts of sexual activity involving animals. Those child pornography charges were actually dropped. She was sentenced to 3 years in prison and 3 years probation after her release. I want to bring in Dr. Daniel Bober. He's a forensic psychiatrist to talk a little bit about this case. Dr. Bober, I've talked to you a little bit about bestiality before. I mean, it's a really touchy, kind of gross
That's what it's called, bestiality, having sex with animals?
subject. But we have a woman here who's been sentenced to 3 years in prison. And when the police went to her door, she apparently readily admitted that she had a fascination with, certain parts of animals' anatomy. She discussed horses, she discussed dogs, and the investigation kind of unfolded from there. They went there with a search warrant because they had some information about her possibly having some child sex abuse material, things like that. So where does this come from? Where do people develop?
It's like somebody snitched about the child stuff and she just openly admitted the animal stuff.
Develop these fascinations.
So just some clarification on some of these terms. So zoophilia is classified as a paraphilia, which is an atypical or deviant sexual interest. So the zoophilia is the sexual urges or sexual fantasies about animals. Now, that in and of itself, believe it or not, is not a mental illness until there is some level of distress or impairment or some negative consequence. Bestiality is the illegal part. It's the behavior.
How is that not mental? Sexual fantasies with animal, not illegal. What did he say? Mental. How is that not mental? How is that not considered a mental disorder, like having sex with freaking animals, bro? What?
Negative consequence. Bestiality is the illegal part. It's the behavior. It's having sex or sexual relations with animals. And so that's the part that is illegal in a lot of different jurisdictions. A lot of these types of behaviors are more studied often in men than in women. But we know that people who have paraphilias very often will have a history of childhood sexual abuse, where they have distorted sexual development and problems with normal boundaries. Very often they suffer from emotional neglect. In terms of mental health disorders, we can see sometimes they can suffer from psychosis, personality disorders, antisocial behavior, borderline personality disorder, problems with attachment, problems with boundaries, obviously a no regard for the rights of the animals or the way it's affecting the animals. And sometimes they have problems with impulse control or ADHD. A lot of us have fantasies, but that doesn't mean we have to act on them.
Bro, it's simply having those fantasies is already like, because it's like if you having those fantasies, then in your head, you want to act on it. Like if I'm fantasizing about driving a freaking car on the moon, obviously I would want to drive a car on the moon. So if you have fantasies about having sex with animals, obviously you would have sex with animals. Like, come on now. You ain't just having fantasies just to have fantasies. Like you want to act on those fantasies. That's the whole point of having fantasies, is because you want to act on them. And a lot of fantasies are fantasies you want to act on, but you can't. Like some people want to have sex with Beyonce, can't. Some people fantasize about driving a Cybertruck, and a lot of people can't afford it, so they can't act on it. but they fantasizing about it because that's what they want to do.
So those people have trouble controlling their impulses. They have an inability to exercise restraint, and they will often act on these deviant fantasies. And of course, there are people who use substances, and so the substances will lower their inhibitions, and they will act out these fantasies. They rationalize their behavior. They, basically say, "Oh, this is no big deal. The animal is not being affected by it." They minimize the harm, which of course we know there's tremendous harm.
Fuck the animal.
And then
That
a
shit
lot
is
of people who have
nasty for
social
you.
isolation and have trouble attaching to other human beings will
that just gave me
sometimes do this.
goosebumps.
So there are a variety of factors that are at play that can make this occur.
So the zoophilia is when you're just
that's
thinking
giving
about
me
it
horrible
and fixating
goosebumps
on
all
it.
down my back,
it moves
all
into
down
a
my
crime
neck.
and becomes bestiality when you actually act on it.
Correct.
Well, they say she acted on it. I guess she was sentenced for having sexual interactions, relations with 4 dogs. And this was discovered, I guess.
God. I just got
there were videos of this, some other things. There was some mention about her husband, who also has been charged in this case, but his case is pending. He has not been sentenced yet. The phone being found in the toilet tank, things like that. So, I mean, she's going to prison for 3 years for this down in Florida. 3 years sounds like a really long time. And she's going to be on the animal abuser registry.
Damn.
So she, obviously this had to have been pretty significant for them to sentence her to 3 years in prison. Plus she'll be on probation when she gets out.
Yeah, I mean, harming an animal, a completely defenseless creature. I mean, I think we've talked about this before. I mean, I have 2 myself. I think you have dogs too.
Yes.
So for someone like me, I find it particularly offensive. These animals, they're so special. They're really like our kids. And for someone to come after them, it's really a very similar.
Really, like bro, if you having sex with your dog, bro, you basically having sex with your child because you taking care of this dog, you raising this dog, like, bro.
Type reaction. So I can see where someone would sort of hit them hard with a sentence to send a message that this is not acceptable behavior, especially when you're preying upon creatures that are totally defenseless, totally innocent, and obviously can't speak and defend themselves. So it's a pretty horrific crime.
When somebody goes to prison and they're sentenced for something like this, I mean, 3 years in prison, plus she's already, I guess, been in jail for a time too. I kind of think to myself, well, she's going to be in prison for a time. There are programs in prison. There's programming that you can take part in. I guess she has a choice. Do you go to prison and you do your time and then you just get out? Or do you make some use of your time in there and then you get out and you're on this animal abuser registry and you're on probation? I mean, how do you treat something like this? Like, how do you get better? So when you get out, you don't kind of go back to the same behavior and do this again.
Be complicit.
I was all of that. My wife and daughter decided to come slam the door open and shit. We just gonna end the video here. They nasty. They disgusting. They deserve jail. Yeah. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you choose to. If you don't want to, don't hit it. But if you do, hit that bit. I love y'all. We out.